All right, what's going on, guys? It's Josh again, and I know all of these negative titles is the market crashing, real estate, but I want to talk about what's going on here with real estate. I've been seeing a lot of videos, and I think it's very important we discuss stuff, get the record straight, and again, as always, realize the opportunity. I don't ever see these downside opportunities in anywhere as a negative. There's always opportunity if you're savvy enough and know what you're doing. And, well, that's the power of education and knowledge, my friends. So before we get into that, as always, I need you guys to hit the like button like right now. Otherwise, you're not. I don't know. Somebody hit me with thumbs up, gang, the other day. I kind of thought it was cool. I kind of thought it was corny, but I still thought it was cool. I don't know. But if you rock with me, you like these videos, everything, drop a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Even if you're already subscribed, make sure you got that little bell check so you don't miss any of these videos. But anyways, let us talk about it. The issue that people have been saying is that real estate is crashing. Real estate is crashing. Oh my gosh, all this stuff's going on. And quite frankly, some of that is true. I'm not going to lie. I'm very interested in real estate. I have a lot of my holdings in there. So it's something, I'm yeah, I don't know. It's weird. The market is acting very, very weird. And let's start on the global scale. Globally, real estate is crashing. It is slowing down, and it does have effects for the stock market and all other indices and other industries, simply because a lot of wealthy people have been purchasing properties all over the globe. So a decline in one area could mean less money, less profits elsewhere, and it could have a liquidity tightening on liquidity. But that being said, we're going to talk here with what's going on in the United States and what it means and what's going to happen. And really, the number one issue people have been discussing is liquidity, or what am I saying? Liquidity, inventory. People are worried that a lot of people now are going to sell houses, and what is happening now, it's changing the landscape we've in. It's no longer this, tight supply market. If you guys saw my video why real estate prices are so high, inventory is increasing. There's now more supply on the market. You can now choose from houses. People could actually wait, or now they're getting the idea, well, okay, all these houses are coming up. I could wait to get the house I want instead of just throwing random offers above asking, getting in these bidding wars on properties they don't really want. But the fact is, there's not many options available. And that is increasing, and it's having two effects. One, it's making houses stay on the market longer. And two, people are worried. It hasn't really had that big of an effect yet, but again, as more and more people start to sell, and again, perception and one person, people start rushing to the door, prices could start to drop. Now, is that happening? Yes. Is it happening everywhere? No. You even see a lot of the cooler markets are here on the East Coast, believe it or not, and there is a specific trend of what's going on. A lot of people, I even made another video and I even talked about this. I'm not posting it because I was wrong in it. And I was like, okay, maybe, because I was like, no way in hell there's a real estate crisis, crash, nothing. And I don't think there is, but we are experiencing something unique and is giving us it's flashing a light for us. And I went and I talked to real estate agents. We train agents. We know a lot of agents throughout San Diego, Los Angeles, other counties. We got a big reach with real estate. So we started talking with some people, and they were actually, I've noticed, the newer people, or the people who are kind of middle grade, but they only had one focus on the market. I've seen some people's businesses slow down, and they've been talking about it, and they've been saying, yeah, we're seeing more houses for sale. It's harder for them to get work. They're not, they're seeing open doors, and they're getting really worried about what's going on. And on the other scale, our businesses haven't got affected. A lot of the close partners we work with, their lending offices, the real estate agents, it is going greater than ever for them. So there is a disconnect with, it's kind of, we're seeing more, but that is different from a few months ago. Even a year ago, everybody was killing it. There was no question of slowdown, anybody not really performing. So it is interesting now. And the big thing to note, though, is the areas it's taking place in. Now, California, as you see, a lot of the hot markets are here. It's not really affecting us as much. But now, where there is some problems is these places, and it's related to what I was saying with the market crash, tech. Places now like Seattle, San Francisco, Washington, those places year over year have had 30%, over 30% increases in their inventory, and it has had a depression in prices. So it is some areas that are experiencing it now. this is where we have to say, is it happening? Yes and no. And really what I want to compare it to is because at the same time now we have had 3 quarters of rising inventory, which that, after 3 quarters in a row, you want to pay attention. But this has happened before. And when this happened was about 2014. And same exact thing happened. Inventory started creeping up. Prices were kind of coming down a little bit, and people were getting worried and said it was going to crash. Look at the market since then. It was fine. So it could easily change. But again, if the pattern of this keeps, persisting, be prepared to see shifts in the market. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I don't think it's going to crash. I don't think prices are going to drop dramatically. I think they're just going to have a stabilizing effect until incomes could catch up. And this is what I talked about in the real estate webinar with the guys in TTF Real Estate, but I'll share it with you guys too, just so you could understand. Bubbles and asset bubbles are created when asset prices increase at substantially faster rates than income growth. So essentially, people's incomes related to the prices of assets, things like cars, food, food's not an asset, but that does take into consideration, but cars, homes, important assets we all need. If those prices go up too fast without income going up, then that is where the bubble happens. Because if those prices ever come down, there's ever a depression in those prices, people take debt out, they can't afford it, they can't service the debt, there's defaults, one default leads to another default and another, and so on, and boom, you have a market crash. We're not leveraged like that anymore. That's why anybody saying we're going to have a crash and even related to '08, it's just out of the question. We're just systematically not levered as we were. There's just not that much risk on the table. There is risk for investors, and that those investors can curb that buying demand that we're seeing, but I don't think it's going to drop in any way, shape, or form. And even when we go look at the data, the median price is up 10% over year, 10% down on days on the market, and there's still less listings overall throughout the United States. So that's where nationally everything's fine, but you got to look at the specific areas. Now we are seeing divergences. Some areas are doing better than others, and that's about it. But at the end of the day, there is now the opportunity, and this is what I wanted to talk about with you guys, is for those who want to flip and wholesale, this is great for you. Because now, if again, you pay attention to the market, and that's what we're here for. Keep in touch with the videos. If you're really serious, join TTF Real Estate. We'll walk you through everything. But essentially, what's going on is now with listings in inventory starting to increase, people are worried, and a lot of people want to sell their homes now. You're getting motivation from sellers, and now it's changing. Right now, wholesaling and flipping presented such a golden opportunity because tight inventory. If you find one in a pile that's really hard to get, your profits and value went through the roof. Now, there's going to be more people rushing to the market, and that's what we're starting to see with inventory. I wouldn't say rushing. I'm not trying to, I don't want to phrase this any way than it should be. But essentially, with more people going to the market now, there's such a big opportunity to get motivated sellers, get houses under contract, wholesale them, flip them, and overall get some pretty awesome deals. And best of all, too, you can now negotiate simply because now you could go up to a seller and say, hey, well, let me buy your house. Now that it's not a seller's market, they're not just like, oh, I'll just list it at this price. You could offer them a time advantage, offer them cash, stuff like that can make them actually want to take less money for their house and give you that margin and that deal you're looking for. And in general now, with other comps, with other people putting their houses up for sale, more and more houses that are going to be more and more comparable, probably better than theirs, you could go and make them deals and show them what houses are going for in their area and really what the real estate market's like. And now you got to edge, and it start to shift to a buyer's market. And overall, with that being said, that's what I think the real estate market might be next for this next couple quarters, maybe a year, maybe less, until Dodd-Frank really starts getting rolled out and more mortgage applications and stuff gets tossed in and people are able to qualify. But I think we're going to shift to a slight buyer's market. So it could create a nice buying opportunity for some people. Again, it always depends on your plan and what you want to do, long-term, short-term, rent, growth, flips, all that. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully this was informational for you guys. Hopefully you guys look into this. Give me some questions. It is a real big topic, and it relates, again, to stocks and every other asset you could think of. So I love you guys. Stay in school. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Show some love. Y'all the best.